Hey there. I know that life is pretty stressful for a number of us right now. And I know that I always talk about how to use relaxation techniques that are not just surface level, but go deep, that are long lasting. But sometimes, just sometimes, you need a quick fix. And guess what? We're going to show those to you today when we talk about 5 minute stress relievers that you can use throughout the day. And we're going to do that in just one moment. Hi there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Marcyline Bailey, and I am the host of Stress Talk Live. That's where you are right now. You are inside of Stress Talk. This is the place where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management and solution focused self care. I'm so glad that you joined me today. Today is a little different for me. Usually I'm going deep and talking about things that foundational practices that you can use throughout your day that help you to keep your stress levels down. Well, today I'm doing something a little different, and I will be in upcoming stress talks. But today I'm going to share with you some quick 5 minute stress relievers because we all need that, right? I mean, you may be in the moment and you need something to bring that stress level down, boom, really quickly. You also might need something that you can use that nobody even knows that you're doing, right? That's the thing. Think about this. If you're in a meeting and tensions are getting heated, you're getting anxious, and you're starting to feel tense and tight, what can you do to relieve that tension, to relieve that stress that nobody even knows that you're doing? And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share some of those with you. So, and we're also going to practice a little bit, right? It helps when you can actually practice, see it and practice. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Hey. I know. See, remember, I only share the things that I do myself because I'm telling you, I've needed some stress relievers myself as well. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. So let's get started. Oh, yeah, I know. I have to go through my spiel first. So let me do that. Like, follow, and subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can catch the replays on YouTube as well as on LinkedIn and on ML Bailey Consultants. Check out this link. This is my tap link. This has my go to when you want to know, get to all the things that is going on with me, go to this link. Oh, yeah, I have some announcements, but I'll make them in March. I'll give you a hint before we end, though. And this is my website. Okay, so let's get into the topic. This is what we're talking about today: 5 minute stress relievers. And these stress relievers are not just for women who experience anxiety. These are stress relievers if you are feeling, as I described, tense, tight, your stress level has gone up, and you just want a moment of calm. This is what we're going to talk about today. These are quick fixes. Now, as you know, I always talk about quick fixes, right? And I always I always suggest that it's always better to have foundational practices that you use that will always help you to maintain low stress. But there are those times when you need something quick because you're in the moment. I just talked about being in a meeting and tensions are high and you're feeling tense, and all of a sudden you need to have something that's going to bring it down for you and something that's not noticeable to other people. So, we're going to talk about those things right now. We're going to get into it. So oh, yeah, you want to know what's going on? Okay, well, let me tell you what's going on. At the beginning of March, okay, this is intermission. At the beginning of March, I will be posting affirmations, daily affirmations for women. And I will, in my announcement, I will also explain why affirmations are good and how to use them, and why these in particular are pertinent for women and for the time that we're living in. The second thing I want to share with you is that in April, I will host my very first Grateful Gathering. And I will be sending out information through our newsletter about those grateful gatherings. A grateful gathering is an opportunity for us to have meaningful conversations and to build community. See, inquiring minds want to know. Yes. So it's about building a community and having meaningful conversations. And why is it called Grateful Gatherings? Grateful Gatherings is a way for us to express gratitude. And it's a practice that I've started to do just every morning. I get an email from an organization that promotes grateful living. And in that email, there's a quote that's always positive, and it's about living gratefully, finding things for which you are grateful. So I've gone through training, and I'm excited to host my first Grateful Gathering. It's going to be virtual. So even if you're not in the same location that I'm in, you too can participate. So, and I'll be sending more out about that soon. So, yes, number one, affirmations, daily affirmations will be posted to Instagram, and you will also have an opportunity to receive them through email. The other thing is the Grateful Gatherings that start in April. Yeah, Belinda, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be, I do. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be, we need to have conversations, don't we? We need to get back to a place where or I should say, not back to a place, but we need to move forward to a place where we can sit down and have meaningful conversations in a way that brings us, gives us more understanding. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. Okay, let's talk about mindfulness practices. So, um, you know that I also teach mindfulness meditation. But when we are living mindfully, we are not just paying attention, right? A lot of people say, be mindful of, and they want you to remember something or to pay attention to something more than you might. Mindful living and being mindful means that we are in the present moment. We're focused on the present moment without judgment and with curiosity. So it's not just paying attention. You can pay attention. We can see, I can pay attention to a lot of things, but it's paying attention on purpose. It's being intentional about what you are putting your attention toward, your attentiveness toward your focus, so to speak, on with a purpose. You're doing it purposefully. You're also doing it without judgment, meaning that you're not looking at something and saying, oh, that's round. Oh, that's square. Oh, that's oblong. Oh, it's a rectangle. Oh, it's green. Oh, it's blue. Ah, it's yellow. There's no judgment to it. We're pretty judgmental. We're judgmental people. Yes, Belinda, it's present awareness. Yes, absolutely. And we can be pretty judgmental. When you're mindful, there's no judgment, there's no comparison, there's no critique. It's just seeing it, experiencing it as it is. But there's also a curiosity that's in play as well. Because with mindfulness, you want to see all sides of, of it. You don't want to just look at one, you're curious about it. You're without judgment, okay? So it's being in the present without judgment, without critique, without comparison, but yet being curious. And so when we put these practices into place and when we're in the present, it takes us from jumping to the future, jumping forward, wondering what we're going to do 5 minutes from now, or thinking about what we need to do when we get off work or when we get home. It also takes us from the past where we're stewing over and trying to figure things out and pondering. Because when we're living in the past and we're dealing with past situations, oftentimes that causes our mood to be depressed. When we're jumping into the future, it creates anxiety. So I want to share a few quick tips that you can use when you find yourself in a place where you are anxious, where you are concerned, where you are in the moment and you need to figure out what to do. So number one, there's an exercise that we use that's mindfulness based, and it's called the five senses. And with this exercise, you use your five senses. Number one, you got to know what your senses are, right? Okay, so we're talking about sight, your eyes. We're talking about hearing, your ears. We're talking about touch, right? Touch. And it's not just your fingers, it could be what's on your skin, right? Okay, so those are three senses: sight, hearing, touch. There's also taste, and there's smell. So with the five senses exercise or activity, when you find yourself, your stress level has gone up and you need a moment to calm yourself, you're going to start to notice, without judgment, five things. And you can start with your sight. Notice five things that you can see. So just practice that with me right now. Wherever you are, you can sit comfortably and just notice five things that you can see. And I'm going to tell you what I can see right now. I can see my computer screen. I can see my lamp. I can see the camera that's on my computer. I can see my table that's full of stuff. And I can see a box. I believe those were five. I can see a box. Now, as I was looking at those things, I actually I actually stopped thinking. I had to think about what I was saying to you because my focus was on what I was saying. Next, think about things that you're hearing. Not think, but what do you hear? And you'll need to pay attention. I can hear the traffic on the road outside of my subdivision. There's a hum that I can hear. I can hear the wind. It's a little windy where I am right now. The dryer just went off, so I heard the little song that it plays. And I can actually hear the sound that my computer makes when it's working. I actually, again, I had to think about what I was saying to you, but it took me, I had to pay attention to those sounds. What do you feel? I feel my sweater on my arms and my back. I feel my feet touching the floor. I feel my fingers touching my other fingers. I feel my lips touching each other. And I taste the the gloss that I put on. So I think you get the idea. You actually remove yourself from what is going on and you pay attention on purpose, without judgment, with curiosity. You bring your awareness and your attention to those 5 things that your 5 senses notice. Okay, so that's one exercise. The hand awareness exercise is an exercise that it's really a breathing exercise, and I'm going to share some breathing exercises with you as well. But it's a breathing exercise, but it's called the hand awareness exercise. In this exercise, hi, you have your hand, and you're going to start at the base of your thumb. And it is a breathing exercise. Now, when you do this exercise, see, I have a callus on my finger. That's from working out. I've been doing weights. When you do this exercise, you don't have to hold your hand up like this. I'm holding my hand up so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But it's very easy to put your hand under a table and do this exercise, or on a table, just flat on a table, and do it as well. But it's not noticeable to other people. So, but I'm holding it up so that you can see it. So you're going to start at the base of your thumb down here. And every time you're going to actually trace the outline of your hand. So starting at the base, when you move your finger up to the tip of your thumb, you're inhaling. When you round your thumb and go into the well, you exhale. When you go up to the tip of your index finger, you inhale. And as you go down, you exhale. And you're going to do that with each finger until you get to your pinky and you end it. Okay? So do that with me as well. Holding up 5 fingers. And again, practice if you like. You can put your hand on a desk or on a table or on your lap even as you're sitting, and you can trace it that way. I'm just holding it up so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to do it as well. So you can see, hopefully you can see me breathe. And so I'm not having to talk. So I'm going to trace up and breathe in. Okay. That's called hand awareness or the 5 finger breathing. Okay. That's another exercise. So we've talked about the 5 senses exercise. We've talked about the hand awareness exercise. Another quick relief is journaling. And I know some of you keep journals with you. I always have a notebook with me, and I will sometimes write meditations out. I keep copies of meditations, and I'll just handwrite those meditations, and that's a way that calms me. But you can write your thoughts down in a journal. You can write things for which you are grateful in a journal. This again is a mind, these are journaling is a mindfulness exercise because you're taking your attention and your awareness off of everything else and you're focusing on your what you're writing and your thoughts. Okay. So with gratitude, you can again write things that for which you're grateful. You can also write affirmations. Sometimes I will even write a poem that's affirming to me or makes me feel good or it boosts my mood. So, journaling is another mindfulness exercise that you can use. So, what else can we do? In addition to um, in addition to mindfulness practices. And again, those were quick ones. And I chose quick ones because they bring you out of that moment, out of that chaotic moment, and it gives you space within that chaos, or it gives you space. Thank you for the heart. It gives you space to just calm yourself, calm inside of yourself. Because often we can look calm on the outside, but we're like this on the inside. So what are some other practices? Breathing, of course. And I told you that I was going to have breathing exercises for you. I breathing is actually one of the one of the best. Thank you. Breathing is all righty. Laughter is also a great stress reliever. If you didn't know, you did it. You really. I didn't expect to see that, but it made me laugh. I loved it. Thank you. Woo-wee. Oh, okay. Let me get back to this. Breathing. We're talking about breathing now. So breathing will help to get your the relaxation response going. When we're stressed, the stress response has kicked in. But when we start breathing and we breathe with intention, it kicks in the relaxation response. So I'm going to share some breathing exercises with you. Now, one of the simplest one is what I like to call breathing awareness. And let me pull up my notes here. So, I got to find my cursor. Okay. Okay, focus breathing. So I just call it focus breathing because, okay, it's not, there's no real term for it. But you can put your hand on your heart, on your chest, and your other hand on your abdomen. The reason you're doing this is because you want to feel the air coming into your body as well as leaving your body. That's why I call it focused breathing, but there's really no name for it. Some people call it deep breathing, but you don't really have to change the cadence of your breathing. We talk about deep breathing and people get choked up sometimes because we're thinking, and I can't get enough air in here, right? But with focused breathing, you just want to feel the air coming in and out of your body. And I'm going to show you, you can probably see my chest rising and falling. So I'm just going to give you an example, just show you a bit, and you can practice with me. So I could actually feel my abdomen moving my as well as thank you. Thank you so much, you all. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. It helps me a lot. It really does. Um, but you can feel the movement. And when you can feel the movement, again, your awareness is on that movement. And that's what we want. We want to focus, get our attention off of what's going on, and bring those stress levels down. So, focus breathing is one type of breathing that you can use. Box breathing is another type of breathing that you've probably heard of as well. With box breathing, think of a square, a perfect square. Now, with a perfect square, the sides are equal, right? So you can breathe in on four, a 4 count, hold it for 4, breathe out on 4, hold it for 4, breathe in on 4, hold it for 4, and so forth. So I'm going to trace a square and I'm going to demonstrate, and you can practice with me. Okay, we're going to breathe in, we're going to hold it, we're going to breathe out, we're going to hold it. Breathe in, hold it, breathe out, hold it. Okay, box breathing. And I just use 4 because it seems like that's just a natural way for me to breathe. It could be 8, it could be 6, it could be 2, but 4 for me is just natural. So, box breathing is another way to calm yourself and lower your stress. I'm going to share one more breathing exercise, and it is a grounding exercise, and it is very similar to the 5 senses exercise. With this, you're going to breathe. You're just going to breathe. Take a few moments to sit with your feet firmly planted on the floor because that allows you to feel grounded because you know that the ground is supporting you. Sit up in your chair and again, feeling the bottom of the chair because that allows you to feel the support of the chair. And then you're going to do, it's called 4-3-2-1. You're going to 5-4-3-2-1. I'm sorry. Then you're going to find 5 things that you can see. And just as I did earlier, you're going to say those things out loud. Once you do that, you're going to find 4 things that you can feel. And just as I did earlier, you're going to say those things out loud. 5, 4. Then you're going to listen for 3 things, and you're going to say those things out loud. I told you that I could hear the traffic. I could hear the wind. I could hear the washer as it went off, or the dryer as it went off. 5, 4, 3. 5 things you can see, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things you can hear. Next, 2 things that you can smell. I'm a little stuffy right now, but I can smell fragrance that a friend of mine gave me, crystals that had a fragrance to it. What else can I smell? I can't smell very much. I used to be able to smell lavender. As you can see, I have dried lavender back there. But 2 things you can smell, and then 1 thing that you can taste. 1 thing that you can taste. So this is a grounding exercise. And again, as you're noticing those things, you want to maintain your breathing. You don't want to hold your breath. You want to continue to breathe. 5 things again that you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and then 1 thing you can taste. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's a grounding exercise. All righty, you all. I'm glad that you joined me today. We've gone over, let me review what we've gone over so there's no confusion. We've been talking about 5-minute stress relievers for anxious women who want calm. And we don't have to be anxious, but we can still use these stress relievers to keep that stress level down, particularly when we're having a moment. We discussed mindfulness practices. We also practiced breathing exercises. We're going to talk about mindfulness, mindful communication, but we're going to have to do that in another session when we get together, maybe next time. Maybe we'll be going to something else, but we're going to continue sharing ways to keep our stress levels down that are strategic, and ways that we can continue to take care, good care of ourselves. I'm Marcyline Bailey. That's all for now. As always, take good care.